if you look at your ancestors, my ancestors, it doesn't matter where we're from, but we're most likely the product of the people who won all the violent exchanges in human history, or were the best at being a slave, right? And kind of passing through. But we can assume maybe at some point you were one of the greatest warriors, right? One of the toughest in the group.
Yep.
And just to invoke that, I mean, our lives, I feel like, are so, my life's nice. I own my own house. I work from home. I'm in financial tech. I couldn't ask for anything more. But God, people fall into some type of boredom. I don't know what the best word is to describe it, but you know, when it's just like, and then they get a midlife crisis, like I've never done anything with it. So I think fighting is just beautiful because it's like, holy shit, me and this guy signed up to try to kill each other, and we trained for 3 months to figure out how that's going to go.
Dimitri, you're the Impact Promotions amateur lightweight champion. You're an undefeated fighter, all around badass, man. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'd love to go back with my guests. Like, where did you grow up? What's childhood like for you, man?
Sure. So I'm ethnically Greek, but I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago in Schaumburg. And
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it was very simple childhood.
Yeah.
Had mom and dad, went to school. My parents, a little bit foreign. So even though we moved to a nice suburb called Schaumburg, I ended up going to like the U46 school district, which is one of the worst in Illinois.
Oh my gosh.
So a fun story was my final year at high school. The school was being reviewed by the government to see if it was even qualified, to make sure our diplomas were like legitimate.
Holy cow.
It was pretty rough, but it was fine. I turned out fine. So
yeah, for sure. I want to talk about mindset there for a minute. Like, what do you do to prepare mentally for your fights? Because fighting is such a mental and physical sport there. But what do you do physically or mentally to prepare you for your fights?
Sure. So I'm a nutcase when I get a fight scheduled, I just become obsessed with the person.
Okay.
And it keeps me at somewhat ease. I will learn everything about you, your favorite color, what you do on the weekends, how serious you take this. And I think I just enter some versions of meditation, because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is convince yourself that you can beat the person in front of you.
Yeah.
I kind of run through almost every case scenario possible. I realize sometimes that doesn't work. My last 2 fights went all 3 rounds.
Sure.
And let me tell you, if you don't mentally prepare to be that fucking tired in the 3rd round, it's going to be something once you go in that 3rd round. But yeah.
Right. Oh man. What was it, or who was it that motivated you to get into fighting in the first place?
Sure. So when I was a kid, me and my best friends, we didn't have too much to do. So when we were about the age of like 8th grade, so I think that would put us at 13.
Yeah,
we would all come to one place and we'd start like amateurishly wrestling each other, right?
Okay.
Like what kids do. And one of my best friends, he bought the UFC game. I think it was UFC 09 with Boris Griffin in the cover.
Yeah.
One day he came over and he just submitted all of us. I mean, he barely knew what he was doing, but we really didn't know.
Yeah.
And then, I begged my parents, oh, can I please buy this video game? Bought it, and then became obsessed with fighting since I was a kid.
Come on, man. Well, I mean, obviously it's paid off. You're 5-0. I think if Tapology is correct, they're only correct about 50% of the time, but hopefully.
You're good. Yes, 5-0.
Awesome. I mean, look at your record there at Tapology. It shows that your first amateur fight was back in 2016. Then took like a break in 2017, and then fought again in 2018. What was that break for in 2017?
Sure. So what happened was I went to college at Northern Illinois University.
Gotcha.
And we had a jiu-jitsu team, and I was doing jiu-jitsu for years. Won my like expert Naga belt, kind of all the accomplishments you want to do when you do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And then I entered graduate school. I got a full ride to get a degree in public admin, a master's. And I had a huge argument with the jiu-jitsu coach at the school. So I said, fuck this. I'm going to try to do MMA. Like, let's go full blast. Right.
Yeah.
And so I just did one fight. It went well. But then after that, I wanted to focus, finish school, get my career going. Once that was set, then I decided to go back into fighting, because I'm not into fighting I feel like everyone else is in it for the money, the glory. I just do it because I love it,
Yeah. So. Yeah. Being that, having that mindset, there is the goal to go pro then at some point.
To be honest with you, I didn't even think further than just like fighting a few amateur fights. When I got the title in Florida, that was super cool. That was like a dream since I was a kid.
Come on.
And then now, I don't know, I'm training with like some super high elite level guys. Shout out to Syndicate MMA, the best gym I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And kind of looking at me like, dude, you're probably going to win. Just go pro. What do you have to lose? So yes, I would say at this point it is to go pro, but I have no clue beyond that. I'll take it fight at a time.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you won the Impact Promotions Amateur Lightweight championship back in May. You fought 2 months later. You got to defend that belt, which is awesome. Congratulations again, by the way.
You.
What does it take to be a champion?
I'm going to be 100% realistic here, especially in amateur fighting. Most of the time, people have no clue what they're capable of in the opposite way. People think they're going to go out there and look amazing. They get tired in a minute, then they get destroyed. So if you want to just be a champion in amateur MMA, in my opinion, kind of understand where you're at. Like, let's be honest here. My striking, it's okay, but I ain't going to knock anyone out. Okay. But I can hold you down for 9 minutes and make you look a little silly. So I'm going to keep doing that until there's a fault with that. And it's just about the mindset. You go in, making sure you don't get tired, understanding it. I mean, most people, I would say in the general population, or people who start MMA, don't know what they're doing to the point that they would tire themselves out before they can truly get close to finishing you. So the key is let them tire themselves out, right? Yeah. Especially at this level. But yeah.
Oh man, that's so good, dude. My kids are in jiu-jitsu. They've only been doing it probably about 6 weeks now. And my son is the smallest in class. He's 8 years old, maybe 55 pounds. And at the end of the class, they always do kind of the tournament style. Like, all right, we learned this move today. You submit that guy, you get to move on. The next guy, if you get submitted, you're out, right? My son went through all 8 other kids in his class, submitted every single dude in like 2 seconds. And I was like, where's this even coming from? I don't know where it's going. So it was awesome to see him like, sinking chokes real quick and, just like having the defense on the back when he was on that side. It was awesome, man. I love that. You have this nickname, the last Greek god. Where did this come about, man?
Correct. So, you know what? I think when I was playing PlayStation when I was a child, I thought that would have been really funny.
Yeah.
And then I'm a history guy. That I would say is my first passion, no matter what.
Okay.
And kind of a joke we made of it is ancient Greek kings. We're talking like antiquity, right? The whole ancient period.
Sure.
You got your pantheon of ancient Greek gods, which is the top 12. And for Greek kings to cement themselves as being maybe more of a cultural phenomenon beyond just their life, they would call themselves the last Greek god, the 13th one that was forgotten.
Okay.
They would make statues. So that's kind of the joke we make now. But where I came up with it, I was like 12, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if my gamer tag was the last Greek god? So,
dude, that's awesome, man. I love that it stuck around that much, man. So what's next for you, man? I mean, when can us fans expect to see you back in the cage?
Sure. So to be completely honest with you, I'm trying to figure out I'm having terrible times with my diets and my weight cut.
Okay.
Maybe 2 back-to-back weight cuts kind of set me off a
Yeah.
little bit because I cannot gain any weight. So we're fixing that right now. Sure. And I did recently sign with management. Shout out to Prime Athletic.
Come on. Yeah.
So I'm definitely fighting before 2022 comes. We're thinking October, November, and then we're thinking about going pro as early as December or in early 2020. I kind of want to just rep these out as quick as possible because I feel like, what am I, about 26 right now? You don't hit your athletic prime till about 30. So if you're really going to make a run, you kind of have to get close to it before you hit your athletic prime, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, that's great stuff, man. I want to do a transition to some fun questions here. I've got these things called pod decks, essentially just random questions. I'll pull one out here and see how it goes here. This one says, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Sure. So when I lived in Los Angeles for a year, it made more conducive sense to just eat once a day. I literally just got a Chipotle bowl and I just ate Chipotle every single day for like 400 days. So, and I love it. Every time I look at it, I'm in love. So I could definitely eat Chipotle every single day for the rest of my life.
Come on, dude. That's awesome. They need to come and like sponsor you, man.
We always talk about it and everyone goes, Dimitri, isn't that so expensive? But if you get the chicken bowl, ask for double rice, double beans, everything double, that doesn't cost extra. It's $8 and it's over 2,000 calories.
Come on. Wow. What is your favorite and what is your worst part of thing of fighting? Okay.
So I would guess my favorite is the reason I do it. I think fighting is the most, and I guess I'll describe the word, humanistic thing you can possibly do.
Yeah.
It is intense. It is scary. When I'm walking to the cage, I swear to God, everyone's like, Dimitri, you're so calm. It's because I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck did I pick this sport? Why can't I do something normal like baseball or soccer? And it goes back to, if you look at, I always love telling people this, if you look at your ancestors, my ancestors, it doesn't matter where we're from, but we're most likely the product of the people who won all the violent exchanges in human history, or were the best at being a slave, right? And kind of passing through. But we can assume maybe at some point you were one of the greatest warriors, right? One of the toughest in the group.
Yep.
And just to invoke that, I mean, our lives, I feel like, are so, my life's nice. I own my own house. I work from home. I'm in financial tech. I couldn't ask for anything more. But God, people fall into some type of boredom. I don't know what the best word is to describe it, but you know, when it's just like, and then they get a midlife crisis, like I've never done anything with it. So I think fighting's just beautiful because it's like, holy shit, me and this guy signed up to try to kill each other, and we trained for 3 months to figure out how that's going to go.
Come on. Yeah.
The worst thing with fighting though is I have the worst face imaginable for fighting. My nose is blind. I have a few cuts here, there. A little punch, it's broken.
Okay.
So I think the worst part about fighting is my face was not made for it.
Okay.
But sometimes you don't get to choose what you love, right? It just comes to you. So
right.
But yeah.
I love that. Now, you list on your Instagram that you listen to Balkan Pop on the weekend. I'd never even heard of that before, so I went and checked it out on YouTube. Some interesting music for sure, man. I actually got some good beats out of it there. But like, who's your favorite bands that you like to listen to, man?
Sure. So I don't really listen to American music.
Okay.
I'm a huge linguist guy. I can speak Greek and Italian.
Okay.
How I kind of keep up with my languages is by listening to it.
Yeah.
Balkan, for everyone, is a region in Southeastern Europe. Everything pretty much south of the Danube, right? So Bulgaria, Serbia, Greece. And what me and my brother, who is my corner guy, he holds pads for me, does all that stuff. What we'll literally do is we'll pick a country of the day. We'll put on a 45-minute music mix. And we just kind of figured out, if you look at all the pop around the world, no offense to everyone else, but the Bulgarians, Greeks, and the Serbians, they have it figured out. So even if you don't understand what they're saying, I mean, it's quality.
It for sure was, man. It was interesting. It was super cool to watch the videos on there, man. It was awesome. That's awesome, man. Hey, I wanted to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to sponsors, coaches, teammates, anything like that, man. The camera's all yours, bro.
Sure. I just want to give a shout out to my brother for always being in my corner, George Niforos. I want to give a shout out to the 3 guys at Syndicate who have literally shaped. I keep leveling up like a Pokemon every day that I walk in there. Shane Shapiro, Ryan Hamilton, and Jordan Levitt that I literally work with every day. And I have the fortune of like having a UFC fighter who wants to beat me up, right?
Yeah.
And just a shout out to Prime Athletic for signing me, believing in me. We'll make some things happen. And just the friends and family who like to watch the show. So.
Man, that's so awesome. Dimitri, such an honor to have you on my show, man. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and really excited to see you back in the cage and then into 2022 and going pro as a fighter, man. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to impress.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching the show. I really appreciate it. Hey, I just wanted to do a quick introduction. If you've not seen my show or you don't know the services that I offer, I wanted to drop them to you right now. One, I do voiceover work. So if you're looking for a voiceover person to cover your motivational videos, or maybe it's Kickstarter videos or whatever it is, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out there. I also work with brands on brand and product videos. So they'll send me their products to do reviews or box openings. Let me know. I'd love to work with you on your product as well and help you get that product out there. I also love to be able to share my story. So if I can make an impact on one person at your next speaking engagement, let me know. I love to talk about my story. I love to talk about how our past does not define our future, and morning routines and being consistent, how to be around those successful people that are just going to lift you up. Let's chat about having me speak at your next event. Let's make it happen. Again, thank you so much for checking out this show. Check out ericallenmedia.com. Really appreciate your time. Have an awesome day.